If you truly desire to manifest your wish in 24 hours, you must begin not with action, not with effort, but with imagination. Everything begins in the unseen realm. The world you touch, see, and interact with is but a mirror reflecting your internal state. To change the reflection, you do not alter the mirror, you change the face you present to it. Your inner conversations, your assumptions, your beliefs, these are the brushstrokes painting your reality. The outer world yields to the inner. Therefore, your entire work begins within. When I speak of manifesting in 24 hours, I do not speak of coercing the world into giving you something. I do not speak of frantic action or desperate effort. I speak of assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. I speak of resting in the certainty that what you have imagined is already true. To manifest your desire quickly, you must saturate yourself with the emotional certainty that it already is. Time is only the measure of our disbelief. Remove the obstacle of doubt, and what once seemed distant is now immediate. Suppose you want something deeply, a job, a relationship, a sum of money, health restored, harmony returned. To manifest this within 24 hours, go into the silence. Withdraw your attention from the facts of life and immerse yourself in the end result. Create within your mind a short scene that implies your desire is already fulfilled. Make it vivid. If it is love you seek, imagine yourself embraced by the one you love. If it is wealth, imagine your hands touching the money, your eyes beholding the account balance, your voice thanking the universe. The mind, once convinced of the reality of the unseen, impresses it upon the subconscious, which will then outpicture it as your experience. The subconscious mind does not understand time. It only accepts the feeling you impress upon it. The moment you assume a thing is real, it begins to take form. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. The speed of manifestation depends upon the intensity and persistence of your assumption. Most people think they are imagining, but they are merely daydreaming. They do not feel the wish fulfilled, they merely think about it. But the law does not respond to idle speculation. It responds to felt reality. You must feel that it is already done. Feel it so deeply that your body relaxes, your mind accepts, and your heart rests in it. Ask yourself, can you believe in the unseen more than the seen? For 24 hours, can you walk as though it were true? Can you think from the end rather than of the end? There is a vast difference. Thinking of your wish keeps it at a distance. Thinking from your wish brings it into the now, and the now is the only creative moment. When you enter the state of the wish fulfilled, you collapse all sense of separation. You become the thing desired. It is not something you are chasing, it is something you are being. Perhaps you doubt. Perhaps you say, but Neville, I have tried before and it did not work. And I say to you, you never truly felt it real. You may have imagined it, yes, but only as a visitor. You did not dwell in it. You touched it and then returned to the old state of doubt. But if you would persist for just 24 hours in the state of the wish fulfilled, you would witness a miracle. The law is no respecter of persons. It does not care if you are rich or poor, educated or not, spiritual or secular. It only responds to your inner state. The law is impersonal, but your use of it is deeply personal. So how do you begin? Tonight, before you sleep, construct a scene that implies your desire is fulfilled. Make it as short and as vivid as possible. If it is success you seek, hear the congratulations from a friend. If it is healing, feel the aliveness in your body. If it is love, feel the warm hand of your beloved in yours. Loop this scene in your imagination as you fall asleep and allow your body to relax into it. Sleep, as it were, in the state of the wish fulfilled. Do not concern yourself with how it will happen. That is not your work. Your only work is to feel it real. Let me remind you of something powerful. Your imagination is God, not a distant deity in the sky, but the creative power within you. The same power that created the stars, the oceans, the galaxies, it lives in you as your own wonderful human imagination. When you imagine something and feel it to be true, you are creating. Your world is yourself pushed out. Nothing comes to you from outside. Everything flows from within. Therefore, guard your inner conversations. Watch your mental diet. For 24 hours, refuse to entertain any thought that contradicts your desire. This is discipline, not of the body, but of the mind. Every time doubt arises, return to the scene you imagined. Every time fear whispers, answer it with the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Say to yourself, "It is done, I have received it." Walk throughout the day as though the whole world is rearranging itself to bring you what you have imagined. And it will. Many have written me, saying, "Neville, I followed your instructions, and within 24 hours, I received the phone call, the opportunity, the answer." And I tell you, this is not chance. This is law. You are using the same power that shaped the earth. But unlike the world, which creates unconsciously, you are learning to create consciously. That is the gift of being human. The ability to direct the power of imagination with intention. If you will persist for just one day in the assumption that your wish is already fulfilled, you will see evidence. Perhaps it will be a sign, a message, a shift in energy. Perhaps the entire thing will appear in full. But you must persist. The moment you waver, the moment you fall back into old assumptions, you delay the manifestation. Not because the universe is punishing you, but because it mirrors you. The mirror cannot reflect a smile if the face frowns. The world cannot reflect abundance if you dwell in lack. The reflection is always true to the state you occupy. So what is the secret to manifesting in 24 hours? It is to forget time altogether, to live in the end, to abandon yourself completely to the assumption that your desire is already yours. When you do this, the barriers of time and space collapse. What once seemed impossible now arrives by means you could not have predicted. Life becomes magical. Not because magic is happening, but because you are finally working in harmony with the law. Do not ask, "What should I do?" Instead ask, "What should I feel?" Do not say, "How will it come?" Say, "It is already here." The feeling of certainty is the secret ingredient. If you feel it real, you do not beg or plead. You do not question or doubt. You rest in it. And in this rest, in this Sabbath, the work is done. Creation is finished. Your only task is to see what already exists in the unseen. Some of you may say, "But what if nothing happens in 24 hours?" And I say, hold the state beyond the hour, beyond the day. For it is done, whether seen or unseen. The world will catch up with your assumption. Do not measure progress by physical signs. Measure it by how deeply you feel the reality of your desire. If you can feel it as done, then it must appear. Delay is not denial. It is simply the time it takes for the invisible to clothe itself in form. Remember, you are the operant power. Nothing happens until you assume it. You do not wait for signs to believe. You believe, and the signs follow. Just as a seed planted in soil takes time to sprout, your assumption takes root in the unseen before it blossoms into visibility. But the moment of planting is the moment of creation. So plant with faith, water with repetition, and reap with joy. If you want to manifest your wish in 24 hours, live for one day in the full embodiment of the wish fulfilled. Let no contradiction enter your mind. Speak only words that affirm your desire. Imagine only scenes that imply success. Feel only feelings that align with your outcome. Do this, and the law must respond. It has no choice. The law is certain, and it is unfailing. And so I leave you with this. The world is a mirror, and your imagination is the cause. What you feel, you create. What you assume, you receive. Do not take your desires lightly, for they are the voice of God speaking within you. They are invitations to assume a new state of consciousness. And once you do, the world bends to match it. Test this for yourself. Tonight, assume your wish is fulfilled. Feel it, believe it, dwell in it, and watch how the universe conspires to bring it to pass. Within 24 hours, or perhaps even faster, something will shift. The doors will open, the way will be made clear, and you will know that imagination truly creates reality. Let it be done unto you according to your faith. Feel the relief as if your prayer has already been answered. Not the anticipation, not the hope, but the relief. That deep soulful exhale when you realize there is nothing more to be done because it is already complete. This is the subtle shift that opens the door to instant manifestation. People say, I hope it happens, and yet hope keeps it in the future. But faith, real faith, pulls it into the present. Faith does not beg. Faith affirms. Faith knows. You must reach that place where you are no longer trying to manifest, you are simply accepting what already is. When you assume your wish is fulfilled, something changes in your energy. You walk differently. You speak differently. You think from a higher altitude. Others may sense it without knowing what has changed. They feel the power behind your calm. They recognize the confidence that does not ask for validation. That's because your inner world has shifted, and the outer world is responding accordingly. This is how people, events, and circumstances rearrange themselves to align with your new state. Most wait for confirmation before they believe, but the wise reverse the process. The law demands that you first believe, and only then shall you see. Just as the seed contains the full potential of the tree, your assumption contains the full blueprint of your manifestation. But that seed must be nourished in consciousness. It must be protected from the weeds of doubt, fear, and double-mindedness. In just 24 hours, if you do not allow your mind to wander back to the old state, your new state will begin to harden into fact. You will notice subtle synchronicities. A stranger speaks the words you were affirming in your heart. An email arrives bearing the opportunity you imagined. A door opens that had once been sealed shut, and still you must not be shaken by appearances, whether good or bad. For your conviction must remain firm, regardless of what the senses show. Live from the end, not according to the evidence of your eyes. This is the mark of the spiritual creator. Creation is finished. That which you desire already exists in another dimension. You are not calling something new into being, you are selecting from infinite states. Each state is real and occupies its own level of consciousness. When you shift your awareness to a state, you begin to magnetize the experiences, people, and outcomes associated with that state. In essence, your job is to move consciousness, not matter. You don't move the pieces on the board, you move the player into a new square, and the entire game changes. You must be bold in this. You cannot tiptoe into your wish, you must leap into it as though it were already yours. There can be no hesitation, no half-belief. You must burn the bridge back to the old self and take residence in your ideal. This is why people fail. Not because the law failed, but because they kept returning to their old dwelling place. But if you resolve for just one day to hold your state unwaveringly, the results will astonish you. Do not be surprised if you are tested. If contrary evidence appears, rejoice, it means the old state is being flushed out. It means the final traces of the former belief are surfacing so they can be dissolved. Stand still. Be unmoved. Know that your assumption is true and the world will bend to reflect it. These tests are not punishments, they are confirmations that the shift is underway. Do not flinch. Do not falter. Remain faithful to the unseen, and the seen must comply. Your assumptions, repeated and accepted as true, become your beliefs, and your beliefs shape your reality. There is no greater secret. You are the potter, the dreamer, the author of your life. If something undesirable persists in your world, it is because you continue to entertain the inner state that gives it life. Withdraw your attention, and it will wither. Pour your attention into your desired outcome, and it must bloom. One powerful practice is inner speech. What are you saying to yourself throughout the day? Are you affirming your wish as fulfilled, or are you subtly complaining, doubting, resisting? Change the dialogue. Speak to yourself as one who has already received. Say, I am so thankful now that this has happened. Say, it's mine. I feel it, I know it, I am it. Repeat this not mechanically, but with feeling. The subconscious responds to emotion, not empty words. Charge your affirmations with passion and certainty, and they will etch themselves upon the heart. Let your entire being radiate the feeling of fulfillment. Let your imagination become so vivid that the line between real and imagined blurs. For when the subconscious accepts it as real, the outer world must obey. You may find yourself inspired to take a certain action. Do so, but not from desperation, not to make it happen. Act only from alignment, as one who already has. When your action flows from the assumption that it is done, it carries the power of destiny. But when you act from fear or doubt, you reinforce the lack. You are not manifesting through force, but through alignment. You are not changing things, you are choosing things. You are not pleading with the universe, you are speaking as the universe. For the Creator and the creation are one. That which you assume to be true about yourself becomes true for you. If you assume you are loved, you will be. If you assume you are successful, you will be. The world is your mirror, and your assumptions are the face it reflects. This power does not belong to a few, it belongs to all. The only question is whether you will use it consciously or unconsciously. Most live in reaction, they wait for something to change before they change, but the Master lives in creation, they change inwardly first. And watch as the world follows suit. You have the same power. Use it wisely. Use it deliberately. Use it joyfully. Always remember your desire is not random. It is divine. It is the voice of God whispering what already is. It is not something you must earn, or chase, or force. It is something you must align with, embody, and accept. The moment you truly accept it, it begins to take form. So accept it now. Feel it now. Be it now. Walk for 24 hours as the version of yourself who already has it. Think as them. Speak as them. Feel as them. And you will become them. Let the world respond to your new identity, not your old circumstances. This is the great reversal. You no longer allow the world to dictate your inner state. Instead, your inner state begins to dictate the world. This reversal is the essence of manifestation. In those 24 hours, you are not waiting for signs, you are becoming the sign. You are not asking for proof, you are living as the proof. And in doing so, you fulfill the law. To him that hath, it shall be given. The mind will resist, it will scream for logic, for timelines, for guarantees. But manifestation is not a logical process. It is a spiritual one. Logic comes after the fact, not before. Do not argue with reason. Do not measure your desire by your current means. That is like judging a tree by the size of its seed. Great manifestations often begin in silence, in stillness, in the invisible soil of consciousness. Trust that what you feel is real, even if you cannot yet see it. Dwell in the state until it feels natural. That is the key word, natural. Not forced, not faked, but natural. When you can think of your desire without excitement, anxiety, or disbelief, it has become part of your identity. That is the moment manifestation moves swiftly. The subconscious is not resisting. It is accepting. And the subconscious is the womb of creation. Whatever it accepts as true must externalize. For 24 hours, saturate your mind with the new reality. Do not allow doubt to plant its roots. Speak only from the end. If you are manifesting wealth, speak as a wealthy one. If you are manifesting love, walk as one who is adored. If you are manifesting healing, act from wholeness. This is not denial. It is divine declaration. You are declaring the truth of your being and letting the world catch up. Stop talking about what's missing. Stop observing delays. Stop describing lack. These keep you tethered to the old state. The law cannot bring you what you contradict with your words. Speak only what you want to see. Declare it in the morning. Feel it at midday. Fall asleep in it at night. Immerse yourself so completely in the new assumption that you forget the old ever existed. When the miracle comes, because it will, do not be shocked. That shock reveals you did not truly believe. Expect the miracle. Prepare for it. Make space in your life as though it were already done. Clear the clutter, inside and out. Remove anything that contradicts your new self. This could be habits, thoughts, even certain relationships. Manifestation flows to the prepared. You cannot become a new person while clinging to the symbols of your past. The moment you dare to say I am, you ignite the divine within you. I am is not merely a phrase, it is the name of God. It is the creative power clothed in your consciousness. Say it carefully. Use it deliberately. Never attach it to lack, or sickness, or failure. Always attach it to that which you desire to embody. Say I am successful, and the power of God rushes to fulfill that decree. Say I am chosen, and the universe arranges itself accordingly. Do not worry how it will happen. That is not your job. Your only work is to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. How it comes is the job of the unseen intelligence that governs all things. If you interfere, you delay. If you trust, you accelerate. Many do not receive because they constantly dig up their seed to see if it is growing. They ask, is it working? But the better question is, am I still in the state? Stay in the state, and the world must conform, even if nothing appears to change outwardly. During those 24 hours, something profound is occurring inwardly. The shift has begun. The world may lag, but it cannot resist forever. The new state will grow, expand, and eventually dominate your field of experience. Patience is not waiting. It is trusting. You must trust the process more than you trust appearances. Keep your desire alive with imagination. Return to it often throughout the day, not as a wish, but as a memory. Imagine it is already behind you, and you are now living in the fulfillment. Replay that inner scene, not with yearning, but with gratitude. Say to yourself, wasn't that wonderful when it happened? This technique tricks the subconscious into accepting it as real, because the subconscious does not distinguish between real and imagined, only between repeated and unfamiliar. Let your body reflect the state. Carry yourself like someone who has already received. Breathe slower, walk taller, smile with knowing. These signals are subtle but powerful. They reinforce the assumption on every level. The universe responds to your frequency, and your frequency is dictated by your dominant state of being. Think of your manifestation not as something far away, but as something already in motion, already arriving, already here. You do not need to convince anyone else. The manifestation is not dependent on outer agreement. You do not need others to understand, to support, or to validate your vision. The power is in your own conviction. In fact, sometimes the greatest results appear when you keep it silent, when you hold the vision so tightly that it becomes sacred, untouchable. Speak it only to yourself, in whispers of assurance and belief. In those 24 hours, make the decision to stop reacting. No matter what happens, hold your inner state steady. Someone could insult you. An old bill might arrive. A negative thought may surface, but you are unmoved. You smile inwardly and say, that's the old reality. It has nothing to do with me. This detachment is power. It signals to the universe that you are no longer entangled in the past. You are living ahead of your senses, and the senses will soon follow. Persistence is the golden key. Not effort, not strain, but persistence. Stay in the assumption again and again, even when nothing seems to change. Especially when nothing seems to change. The more you return to it, the deeper it embeds. Like carving into stone, repetition creates permanence. And once the assumption becomes automatic, the manifestation becomes inevitable. Be gentle with yourself. You are not failing if doubts arise. Simply return, reassume, re-enter the state. Each time you do, you weaken the old program and strengthen the new. Like building muscle, each repetition adds power. Soon the new state will become your default, your natural habitat, and the outer world will adjust. Not because you forced it, but because you became the version of yourself who lives that reality. You can accelerate this process with gratitude. Gratitude is the emotional signature of receiving. It is the inner proof that it is done. So give thanks now. Not just with words, but with feeling. Let gratitude flood your being as though your wish were already complete. Gratitude collapses time. It draws the future into the now. It dissolves doubt, lifts the heart, and opens the gates of manifestation. Nothing is too big. Nothing is too late. Nothing is out of reach. These are illusions created by time and space. But time and space are illusions governed by consciousness. If you can feel it real now, you can manifest it in your experience. Miracles happen when you no longer see the wish as separate from you. You merge with it, embody it, become it. This is the secret the ancients knew. This is the truth the world forgot. You do not need to chase. It chases you. You do not need to strive. It flows to you. The only requirement is inner alignment. What you are within, you attract without. The world cannot help but mirror you. It must. It is law. So I say to you now, stand firm in your assumption. Dare to believe that what you desire is already yours. Not tomorrow, not someday, but now. Let the world say what it will. Let appearances deceive. Let logic falter. You know a higher law, the law of assumption. You are not at the mercy of chance or circumstance. You are the operant power.
the Creator clothed in human form. If you want to manifest your wish in 24 hours, then for those 24 hours, live in the end, speak from the end, feel from the end, feel from the end, walk in the certainty that it is done. The universe responds to conviction, not to hesitation. Choose once and for all to believe in the reality of your desire more than the reality of your senses. You are not manifesting a fantasy. You are revealing the truth of what already is within you. This is your invitation to power, to wake up, to remember who you are. The world will bend when you no longer bend to it. The moment you refuse to return to your old state. The moment you say, I am that which I have asked for. The entire fabric of reality begins to shift in your favor. The door is already open. Walk through it boldly, and watch the miracle unfold.